What's good, gamers? We're back at it. Uh, Episode's about to start. It's been a couple days. Haven't really done too much. Just kind of been working. I want to give a shout out to the people that have just been active with these videos. Uh, Chisua, Chysua, Chisua, maybe. Mike, motherfucking legendary. Um, Bob and Colin, we love him. Trisket, the king. Um, yeah, that's about all the people that have commented. Oh, and Boone, Blumel. Shout out them. Thanks, guys, for being active. When we last left, Krillin had been defeated by Roshi, pretty handily too. He was just kind of outclassed. Um, but we're moving on to the next match, which is Nam versus Goku. We open on kind of a recap of the last couple matches, and we see a vendor. Yeah, we'll call him a vendor. Just walking through the crowd selling his wares. Um, and the announcer comes over, I guess, the intercom. I don't know, maybe he just has a loud voice. I'm not exactly sure the technology that's available at this point, but his voice booms and says, please report to the ring. We get the title card. In the dub, it's Danger from Above. In the sub, it's Get Up, Goku, the Fearsome Tenku Pekeji Kin. Tenku, Tenku Pekeji Ken, Ken. Um, we see Nam thinking about his village, using it as a motivator to try and, psych himself up for this fight. Because no matter what, he does have to win so that he can bring back uh, water to his village. Let me make sure that it is water specifically that he says in the dub. It might just be um, wellness. Yep, it's the same in both. Um, it's interesting. He says he'll return with enough water, with enough money to buy all of the water they need. So the village that he's from is so poorly off that water is a commodity. Like, no matter what, it's a commodity. It's not publicly available. He also kind of has a stereotypical, like Indian accent. Um, but yeah, match begins. Goku's like, I wonder if I could use that same technique that Jackie Chun used on Krillin. And he just casually pulls out the after image technique. Nam sees right through it because he's a very good fighter. Uh, it's not like he's under classed or anything. He's relatively well matched with Goku. But he sees right through it, dodges, and then begins his attack with a flurry of kicks, as you see on my mini fridge back there. Lands a kick on Goku. Goku swipes him, um, puts him in the air, and then combos with a like paw to the chest, pushes him back towards the architecture around the ring. Nam jumps off of it and attacks Goku, knocks Goku down, and then begins to sprint towards him in order to land a blow. Goku just naturally sits there, but his tail uh, captures Nam and knocks him down. And Nam's like, God damn it. I I really have to deal with this right now? Really? Goku's kind of trying to strategize in this fight. It seems like he's having fun. Like this isn't really a serious thing for him. But he develops a new technique, which is essentially just him becoming a spinning top, as you see right here, in kind of Looney Tunes fashion. He starts spinning rapidly towards Nam, and Nam isn't sure what to do because it's an offensive defense. It's literally like, how am I supposed to land a hit on this? If I attack, I'm going to get hurt. And if I keep dodging, I'm going to lose. As we see, he backs uh, to the edge of the ring. He's going to fall off if he keeps dodging. So Nam braces, he prepares for the worst. But Goku starts to slow down right in front of him. And he just falls flat on his back. Um, spinning around that rapidly for that long made him dizzy. Nam is kind of awestruck by this and almost falls off the ring, but he catches himself and pulls himself back up. He sees Goku dizzy on the ground before him, and he decides that now is the time to end it. He says Goku has dug his own grave, so now is his chance. There is a more calm demeanor from Nam in the dub versus the sub. His, there's also the like stereotypical accent, but um, in the dub, he says he'll end it with an attack from the sky, whereas in the sub, he yells out attack from heaven. Um, on his descent, he says, let me pause this. Um, on his descent, he says he's going to fulfill his destiny in the dub. In the sub, he says Namu Amida Butsu, which is, uh, it translates to take refuge in the Buddha of infinite light and eternal life. Uh, so, vastly different. Um, it seems he's a little more of a caricature in the dub versus the sub. I think the sub kind of builds him up to be a more intimidating foe, whereas the dub is kind of just like, okay, another thing for Goku to kill. Um, but Goku starts to wake up as Nam closes the distance after he has jumped into the sky, crossed his arms in front of his body, and begun shooting downwards towards him like a speeding bullet. Goku's unconscious at first, but shows signs of waking up as Nam gets closer. Um, as he's about to land his blow, Goku opens his eyes and Nam hits. Uh, we see Goku kind of like gasping for air, and then he faints. He just falls to the side. Um, and the audience, we can't tell whether or not he actually fainted there. Um, there's there's kind of an idea that he might be dead. Um, Nam pushes his hands together in prayer stance and asks the announcer to please begin counting. Uh, Roshi, Yamcha, and Krillin all kind of comment on how Goku couldn't recover from that. Um, like, there's just no way that he could get up. And I have to turn up for this part just to compare. Okay. Slight difference. Nam in the dub says it is against my nature. I I actually have to rewind and make sure because naturally I immediately forgot. He says it is against my way to harm anyone. So you will recover from this attack within 8 to 10 days. Whereas in the sub, he says, I too believe in the Buddha and don't kill. You will wake in 10 days. So in the sub, it's more, there's more of a religious connotation, and it's definitely 10 days. Whereas in the dub, it's more of a spiritual, um, like there's no direct religious uh, connection there, and it's 8 to 10 days. However, on the 9 count, like right as the 10 count is about to come out of the man's mouth, Goku hops up, um, kind of just striking awe into everyone, the crowd, the announcer, Roshi, Yamcha, Krillin, Nam especially. He says there's no way you could have gotten up from that. Like he just said, that attack normally would knock someone out for 10 days. Um, he doubts his accuracy for his attack. He thinks that he may have, missed it just by like a couple inches, maybe even a couple of centimeters. He may have missed his attack, and that's why Goku wasn't put to sleep for so long. So he begins his attack again. This time he jumps even higher into the air, soaring through clouds in an attempt to, I guess, catch more speed so the attack can be more devastating. And Goku says, okay, let's go. And he jumps into the air after him. Nam dives like down towards him with that X across his chest again. And Goku speeds past him again in Looney Tunes fashion. Nam going down, Goku going up. Goku speeds down towards him. He puts both fists in front of him and speeds down. Finally catches up, and they start to battle midair. Uh, so first time we see that in Dragon Ball, and this fight, I guess, is one of the first like serious fights that we ever see Goku in Dragon Ball. He might not be taking it seriously, but there's some real talent and stakes here. Not necessarily for him, but for Nam. They're both racing towards the ground. It looks like Goku will likely reach it first, but Nam thinks he still has a chance to land the hit on Goku as soon as he hits the ground. Unfortunately, Goku makes it first and still has time to attack Nam before he reaches the ground. So he jumps back and then jumps forward towards Nam as he's about to land to kick him in the stomach. Uh, the hit lands. Nam is knocked out of the ring. Goku takes this match. The crowd is going absolutely insane for Goku. Naturally, he's a child prodigy. You always want to root for the underdog, and that's what Goku seems to be, even though he's been sweeping all of his matches. We do see kind of like a Frankenstein esque figure in the crowd. So if you're watching through Dragon Ball, definitely pay attention to the crowd because there sometimes, maybe even most times, will be little Easter eggs there for you to check out. There will also be the Sambo figures, blue hair, blown out lips. You hate to see it. Um, but Roshi is kind of frustrated that Goku is as good a fighter as he is. Because that means he's going to have to play this next match carefully. Because it'll be him versus Goku. Nam approaches after regaining his composure and smiles at Goku. He extends his hand uh, so they can shake because he's a good sport about his loss. Nam says he was happy to have an opponent like Goku. Goku called him a great fighter. Uh, no notes from the sub on that one. But once again, we see this kind of like conviction from Nam. He's just an all around good guy. He's fighting for his village. He's a good sport when he loses. He doesn't kill. He's a measured individual. Um, Unfortunately, he won't be walking away with any money though. Yamcha once again in the back like locker room, I guess you could call it. Yamcha once again is trying to tell Goku and Krillin, "Hey, Goku, you're gonna be fighting your master in this next match." And he's like, "I have kind of a hunch." Um, and then we see Nam packing up. Uh, Roshi approaches him and says, "Going home already?" And Nam says, "I can't wait around. I have things to do." And then he takes a very sorrowful expression, just because he wasn't able to bring any water back to his people. Um, to which Roshi throws him a hoi poi capsule. I think I'm just gonna default to hoi poi versus Dino Cap, because that's how it's written and it's the easier way to remember it. It's kind of a more recognizable name than Dino Cap, I think. Um, but Roshi throws the Hoi Poi capsule to Nam, explains that there's nothing in it. He could fill it with water if he wanted to. Um, and Nam's like, "How did you know that I needed water?" And Roshi says, "Well, I am Muten Roshi after all." The first time that he's truly revealed his uh, alter ego, I guess, to anyone. His identity is what I was looking for. It's the first time he's revealed his identity to anyone in the tournament. To which Nam exclaims, and Roshi's like, "Keep it down, keep it down. You don't need to let them know. Don't let them know. Did they? Do they know? They don't know. Okay, we're good." And they walk out back. Um, Nam's like, "Why are you here?" To which Roshi responds, "I wanted to enter this tournament because I had my suspicions that Goku and Krillin might be able to win. And I want to let them know that there are bigger and better threats out there than just me. I didn't want them to gain an ego and think that they were the best in the world. I want them to keep striving to become better students," which one of the few times that we see Roshi like just being a good teacher. Um, to which Nam comments on his wig and is like, "Oh, so that really is a wig." And Roshi says, "Yeah, I glued it down so you can't yank on it, but it's super itchy." Um, Nam then says, "I'm pretty embarrassed, but you can actually take this capsule back. I don't have any money to buy the water that I need to bring back." Uh, to which Roshi says, "Follow me." he takes him to a well and explains that they have so much water that they don't sell it. Nam can just take the water. It's fine. Nobody's gonna miss it. So Nam gets what he wanted, even though he didn't win the match. He's very grateful to Roshi, um, and says, "I'll never forget it. Forget your kindness." And Roshi says, "Don't worry about it. You're good." Starts walking towards the door, and then Roshi suddenly remembers something or comes up with an idea, runs back towards Nam and is like, "Actually, can you help me out with something? Just real quick. Just help me out really quick." We see the announcer kind of flaunting about in the middle of the ring, hyping up the crowd for the next match because um, it is going to be Goku versus Jackie Chun. This is the finals. Um, Yamcha is still kind of picking on Roshi about not being Jackie Chun and being Roshi, and Roshi's like, I'm not him. I'm not him. Look out in the crowd. You'll see him. Look, there he is." And we see a bald man with Roshi's mustache and beard, shirt, and the turtle uh, backpack, I guess. Weight, I guess, because it is like 40 kilos. Um, anyway, you see Nam dressed as Roshi in the crowd, and Yamcha's like, "Oh, you're okay. You're not. You're not actually Roshi. Hmm." He's completely fooled. Uh, he then goes to tell Goku and Krillin that Jackie Chun guy, he's not actually Roshi. I don't know why I was thinking it. Um, to which Goku responds, "Oh, so there's other people in the world that are as strong or stronger than the old hermit?" And he gets very like excited and happy about it. Um, Goku's kind of just this untamable fighting force. He's motivated by the fact that there are other strong people in the world, and Roshi isn't the like final hurdle to overcome. It's not a student becomes the master type situation. It's a I will always be the student type situation, which is exactly what Roshi was trying to teach this entire time. He was just trying to instill this kind of hunger within Goku to always be better. And that's really what we see throughout the remainder of Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super. Actually, to a detriment in Super. Um, and I guess to a detriment in Z too. That's kind of why he, tries to leave everything to Gohan. Um, but we'll get there when we get there. That's the end of the episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I tried to be a little more well spoken in this one, as one of my comments recommended. If you want to see anything, if you want anything from me, let me know. Do the YouTube things, like, comment, subscribe, bell icon. Bye.